Sorry about dazing out of that lad over there. Just been having a bad time, that's what I'm sorry. Think you could say the same thing? You know what a courtesy tap is, young man? Non-threatening. Sounds like this. You know, I don't think you know what a bad day really feels like. But trust me, you're gonna learn! Hello. Today we shall be reviewing / talking about Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. One of the first movies to actually reopen theaters, at least for a couple states. So, without further ado, shall we begin? So, Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe, directed by, I believe the guy's name was Derek Bonte or something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong. I probably got the name wrong. I don't know. But anyway, this is it's a thriller, but it also has elements of horror. But I would definitely call it thriller over horror. But because of everything that the world went through and all that, this was actually one of the first movies to actually reopen theaters. And I thought it was actually a pretty solid movie to reopen theaters with. But anyway, Unhinged. It starts off with Russell Crowe's character. I gotta say, I think Russell Crowe actually, he gained a lot of weight for this role, unless it was like a suit, but, because I remember him in Les Mis, Gladiator, and all that. He was like in good shape, and he was much bigger in this, so I don't know if it was a suit or he gained weight, but definitely added to his presence in this movie. I'll definitely say that, because when the time came, he was a force to be reckoned with during a couple of scenes. But I understand why they wanted like him to be a super big guy, because he needed to be just intimidating, ominous, and I think it actually worked. I think Russell Crowe actually played this character great, and the character, they actually never give a full name, they just go as the Man. And one thing that I really noticed about this movie and really liked, the license plates. They never give an actual state. The license plate all look very similar to almost every single state in the US, so therefore saying that this can happen anywhere to anyone in any state. So I thought that was actually a pretty cool like hint and all that. But we'll say it looked like, for like the scenery and all that, it looked like maybe Georgia or Florida. It looked like in that type of climate. But the atmosphere of the atmosphere was great. The entire movie was actually like just during a drizzly, rainy day, and he was just chasing her, and it just gave more tension to the movie, because you're like, okay, what's gonna happen? But anyway, the movie starts off with Russell Crowe's character. Yeah, I got sidetracked. Just going with a bunch of matches, flicking like this, and like finally when he gets one to light, there will be mild spoilers. I won't do any big spoilers, but mild spoilers. So anyway, he gets one to light, he goes into a house, and then he absolutely just bashes the guy's head in, and then he goes after the girl, and then he lights the house on fire. Now, here comes the mild spoilers. We later find out that that was his ex-wife. She took everything from him in the divorce. All he pretty much has is his truck, and that's why when he's at that red light dazing out, and our main character, I want to say her name might have been Claire. I'm not 100% sure. It probably isn't. But when he was at the red light, and she was already having a bad day. Like, she just lost her biggest customer. Don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Just lost her biggest customer. Her gas tank was super low. Her car needed fixing and everything. So she was just having a bad day, and so he was too, and he was dazing out of the light, and she just leaned in on the horn, pretty much, come on, and he still doesn't move, so she just goes around him, and she's pretty much like, what the hell, asshole, and then she goes around, and then that's when he actually starts chasing her, and it gets more and more, and he gets more extreme, to the point where he actually met, I want to say it was her best friend from high school, but I wasn't not 100% sure. Saw this movie about a a month or two ago. But anyway, like, he's like, oh yeah, well, I'm just here talking to your best friend over a cup of coffee. And then he absolutely just like, so, what would you say to your friend if he was about to die right now? What would you say? And then that's when she's like, no, don't do this. And then he just absolutely just smashes the guy's head into the table. He destroys the guy. And it was actually pretty graphic. But like, there was a couple other scenes that were actually more graphic, but I won't go into that because of spoilers. But yeah, it's pretty graphic. And like, his biggest thing in this movie is like, do you know what a courtesy tap is, young man? It's non-threatening. It goes like this, and like that comes into play later on, and it's a really fun movie. It's very engaging. It's very intense at times. And Russell Crowe and the lead actress, which I can't think of her name off the top of my head, they give a really good performance. And I don't think this will get a sequel, but I think it's perfect as its own one-off. And I would completely recommend this movie if you like thrillers, if you like, not really horror, it's a bit more like a thriller, almost action type at times, but it's definitely not a full-on horror. But I would recommend it, and I would probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. So, Unhinged. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. If you saw Unhinged, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye!